What a result this is. Juventus 0, Empoli 1. Empoli scoring in the 21st minute, and there was no reply from the hosts. Gab Marcotti, of course, with us. Gab, what happened?
Juventus were abysmal. And, we've seen this before with Allegri early on in the season. They have horrendous performances like this one, but he mixed things up. He tried McKennie further forward. He had a poor game. Adrien Rabiot was shockingly bad. He tried with sort of Chiesa and Dybala together. That didn't work. They tried to get back into it in the second half after Morata, Kulusevski, and whatnot. Things picked up a little bit, but it was fully deserved by Empoli, who were just hungrier. They were well organized, and they simply played much better football.
How did Allegri explain this performance after the match, Gab?
Well, he said, he pulled out the usual stuff about needing to mature. And look, to be fair to him, Manuel Locatelli came on. He needs to start, right? This is the whole issue. You need somebody in the middle of the park with that personality. Bentancur was another one who I thought was really poor on the day, and Danilo had to play in the middle of the park, not ideal. But I think it goes deeper. I think this team really hasn't gelled yet, and Empoli deserve credit. Now I know people are going to say, "Oh look, Cristiano's gone and now the wheels come off." I don't think it's quite that simple. Juve had issues before, and I think got even worse. I don't know that Cristiano would have necessarily changed the whole narrative today when the other 10 players on the pitch were all quite poor.
Speaking of changing the narrative, Gab, you had Inter, of course, doom and gloom. Lukaku's gone, Hakimi's gone, and Conte's gone as well. It's going to be terrible for them trying to defend their title, yet they've started so strongly. Juve, just a 1 point after 2 games. How much should we read into all of that?
Well, I think you can actually probably read more from Inter's win this week, although, again, it was a come-from-behind win. It came Correa coming on, scoring 2 great goals for their 3-1 in. You can read more into it, I think, with this game, probably than their opener against Genoa, because Genoa were just atrocious. But I think what we're going to see from Simone Inzaghi, and we said this before, is this is a team that can beat you in different ways. This isn't a team that, with Conte, there was a certain, I don't want to say they did the same thing over and over again, but they kind of did, and they did it exceptionally well, and everybody was committed, and the opposition had no answers. Here, he can give you different looks. Sometimes it's going to be Lautaro, sometimes it's going to be Dzeko. You've got Correa. They're still hoping, I think, to possibly bring in another forwards, maybe somebody bulkier. All these things, he knows how to move the pieces around to get the best out of them. So he's a much more, I think, pragmatic coach than Conte is in terms of being flexible with different approaches, even giving you different looks throughout a single game. He's more of a player manager. I think the players may well respond to that, because after 2 years of Conte, it can get pretty exhausting. So yeah, so far so good. I mean, I think the real tests for Inter are going to come later on this season. Look, if you're going to bring up the fact that I didn't have them as favorites to win it, fine. But I will point out
Gab, I would never do that. How dare you?
And they lost to certain Cristiano Ronaldo. I know where you were going with this.
I would never question your professionalism, Gab. Just a reminder then, Inter started things off on Friday with that 3-1 victory away against Hellas Verona, preceded by Udinese with a comfortable 3-0 win on Saturday. Lazio beating Spezia by 6-1, a rare goalless draw between Atalanta and Bologna, and the finished Fiorentina 2 Torino 1. 4 games for you on Sunday. Napoli away against Genoa, Sassuolo against Sampdoria, Milan taking Cagliari, and Roma away against Salernitana. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.